No Cabernet. Put it down, placed it down for the shot. Knocks early.
Okay, count the highlights
points
where there is no one defensively in the paint.
Lead was 17, but it's cut down to 8 here. Ball up the steal, coast to coast for the lay-in. Nick Guards playing better under Fizz continues. Trey Burke.
Okay, Smitty.
Nice move. Reverse
Might be
lay-in.
under the rim.
Lakers go to work. Brandon Ingram and some harm. Made the free throw and one. And KCP, trade target. Mr. General Manager down on the end.
This is a player that's in a really interesting situation. Expiring contract, probably not somebody the Lakers can afford to keep. They may use him to start accumulating some assets.
Tim Hardaway Jr. dunk there was easy at 22 and 6. Knicks up 4 at the break. Then Brandon Ingram takes over a bit here in the third. And when we see the talent levels unquestioned.
Oh, the talent is there. I mean, he just has to mentally lock in and give it to us consistently on a night in and night out basis.
Had 21 and 9 in the game.
Tough.
Off glass. It's good. We stay close. Lonzo Ball, confident. Take and make from 3. Lead 1. They go on top to the Lakers 102-101. And a lot of second chance points, no boxing out. We saw a lot of this late. Cantor off the miss, finds a way to put it back in. Knicks up by 2, but more big shots from Lonzo Ball.
There you go, Ball. Knock it down.
Hits the 3, cuts the lead down. He had 17 and 6. Moutier was big late, couple of big passes. This drive leads to an easy one from Cantor, who had 16 and 15. Not so much for the Lakers, regardless of who's missing, and they had a lot missing. Not a loss you want to have at home, for sure.
No, not one that you feel like's acceptable. And again, you're going to look at the fact that Kuz didn't play, and you are going to be accepting of the fact that he's probably been your most consistent player outside of LeBron all year. So it is a big loss, but this is a game, if you're the Lakers, you've got to get. And Moutier tonight, 4 of 16. But really created some difficulty for the Lakers with his penetration.
We have a Jet on court.
Tear down, baby, Alonzo Trier, and they paid him rightfully so because he came out early and he did what he does best. He gets buckets.
And that means basically, in case you're not paying attention at home, instead of Sparty in the middle tonight, we'll just be talking about every member of the Arizona Wildcats.
And we should actually have a Wildcat graphic up there because when Rex Chapman's here, we go Kentucky Wildcats.
Oh.
So we should have a Wildcat ding every time we refer to one here. I think it'll be easy to make the transition graphically. So
Trier's an interesting guy. I mean, Grip, you sit there and you look at, and I think about it in all different levels. Kuzma, who late in the first round, 27th pick, right? We didn't talk about him too much, I don't think, nationally. Plays great in Summer League, and then we saw what he did last year and this year. Here's Trier, a guy, tons of ability. And, man, there are probably a lot of teams thinking, geez, you let him free all of a sudden, because he is almost like a raw, untapped resource with what he's doing on the floor now, right?
Yeah, and I don't want to go away from Kevin Knox before I mention. You're talking about the
ahead.
December Player of the Month in the Eastern Conference. He's growing and evolving very rapidly. So for him to be off to a good start in this game is not a surprise, because this is one of those games for him. It's national TV. It's a statement game.
Yes.
And I think guys get up for that moment. And so you've seen that so far early here tonight. And he's carrying forward what he's been developing. I think Coach Fizdale's done a great job with a lot of their young talent. And you've seen that Scott Perry and Steve Mills have hit on an awful lot of the high variance guys that they got as either undrafted free agents or late in a draft. Trey Burke last year, an amazing find for them. Trier this year, what they did with Noah Vonleh and what they're doing for him in his career. He looks like he's going to be an asset piece for people moving forward. So that team, while they're not winning, and a lot of it is silent because they're not on national TV all the time, they're making strides. And quite often, and you know this, you were on a young team. We talked about it before we came on the air. Sometimes you find a way to lose when you're young because you haven't figured out how to win yet. But it doesn't mean you're not making strides. And so eventually it's going to build itself into a situation where you do turn the corner and start to win games. They may be a ways from that, but don't ignore the fact that they're making progress.
No doubt about it. And their growth and development, give Fizdale a lot of credit. Early on in these young players' careers, they have identified their strengths, and they play to their strengths. What did you tell Knox? Knox, when you're in there, we're going to feature you. We'll run plays for you. That gives him added confidence to become the Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Other thing is, and you know this and have seen this, and so have you, in every sport, change of scenery sometimes is all you need. Getting in the right spot. We were talking off the air earlier when we talked about the Nets later. You think about D'Angelo Russell. What if he had started his career in Brooklyn, knock on through LA? Emmanuel Mudiay has been. They have a decision to make.
Yeah.
And who would have ever thought that would even be a decision? But he has played legitimately well enough. They have a decision to make with him. I mean, he's had some games where he's going splitting two defenders and skying for a dunk. I mean, everything that you wondered what he can do in Denver, all of a sudden, in like a span of 2 months, you're seeing an unbelievable step forward from him.
And Jason, it'd be interesting to hear your thought on this. Is there a point with a young point guard where you think you can say he's not going to get it? Because obviously Mudiay was a young, really young player when he came into the league, and something happened. The flip got switched for him somehow. Yeah. The light came on. What is that point as a young guard in the league where you realize the rubber's going to meet the road now and you're going to figure it out?
Well, I look directly at my situation and then Chauncey Billups. But for me, I was traded from Atlanta to Dallas. In Atlanta, I was a scoring point guard. I really just had fun and played the game. They rolled the ball out and said, Jet, go play, go have fun. When I got to Dallas, Avery Johnson took me under his wing, and he taught me how to play the point guard position. So that was in year 5. Chauncey Billups, very similar, was a journeyman earlier in his career, but he was a scoring point guard. When he got to when he got to Detroit, he really learned how to play the point guard position, and you've seen that growth and development. The other thing is management gave him an opportunity, and they didn't give up on the kid, right? That's the biggest thing for Mudiay. Once he finds his spot in New York, it seems like he's found that spot. They're giving him confidence, and he's going to flourish.
Yeah.
And Chauncey was on his 4th team, by the way, before it really clicked for him and before he was really given an opportunity. He went from being almost a journeyman as a young player, going from team to team to being Mr. Big Shot and being a Finals MVP type player. And that's a really significant stride to make. I don't think anybody can ever predict you're going to get there, but it takes a lot of time at that position. Lonzo Ball last year, if you would have just silenced the noise around him as a player and focused solely on what he was producing as a rookie point guard at his age, kid had a hell of a year. But we want everything to be so instantaneous now, and it doesn't work like that, particularly at the point guard position.
Well, and tying it all together, a guy who had a big shot tonight, which we'll show you when we go through our highlights on Game Time, but in a better player. But Victor Oladipo, coming off his situation in Orlando, right, number 2 pick, and then with Oklahoma City, look what's happened to him the last year plus, and the confidence and all that we thought. You mentioned point guards learning from
them to be competitive based on what Doc did with them last year.
Yeah, and I was just going to go to your point as you see the lead near 20 now. Gallo, 6 of 10. He's got 21. Lou Williams getting buckets. What else is new? But we were talking about in a different situation we'll get into later. We talked about young players kind of learning from vets. Grit, right? Guys who are willing to put it in. Look at the Clippers. Look at Patrick Beverley, who's on that team. Look at what Harrell is doing and the second chance buckets and opportunities, the way Harris has played. They are really doing what they do because they're certainly fundamentally maximizing everything they can, right?
No doubt about it. And think about you talk about Gorgeous Alexander.
Yeah.
The growth and development he's going to be able to have because he has a guy like Avery Bradley, who's a veteran, and Patrick Beverly.
Yep.
He's going up against those guys
pushed in practice
every day in practice, right? Then after practice, hey, they can go hang out, rebound for each other, shoot the stuff, and then go hang out, have dinner together. That's a great on-the-job training for a kid like Gorgeous Alexander, and there's not a lot of pressure on him. They take so much pressure off him because they don't say, hey, you're the next guy. And he has to do it all by himself. You look at how the struggles of Trae Young, he doesn't have anybody like that for him. So he has to learn all his on his own.
Yeah, by the way, my son's middle name's Shea after the stadium, not Shea. I'm going to rename him Gorgeous Alexander. If he
Gorgeous, baby.
Again, that's another Wildcat reference because
of course. No, I got it.
Kentucky guy.
No, I'm
real quick. Who was the guy who pushed you more than any in your career in practice?
More than any.
Yeah,
was
who was
Bimbo Coles.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, Bimbo would beat you up, hold you, but after practice he'd sit right by you by the locker, like, young fella, that was a good practice, wasn't it? Yeah, it was good for you because you didn't get hit in the head, and they didn't call foul. You turned the ball over, and coach is yelling at you. But no, he was a good vet.
The other guy too that Gilgeous Alexander and that whole group gets to be with and really benefits from. Lou Williams
That's
has
great.
been the very best
there you
of
go.
himself
That's a great point.
this season. Having instant offense like that when you're running a team has got to be a really easy thing to deal with as a young point guard.
Yeah, just having another guy that can get you a bucket and doesn't need anybody to do so, it takes so much pressure off a young point.
And what's underrated by the Clippers, they actually have a lot of depth, even though you might think they've got a lot of role players. They have more role players than most teams do because they can move guys in and out and be effective.
Taxes and on Friday night, Smitty's Under the Rim on NBA TV.
Oh, really, Alex?
It's that time.
Hey, this is the only reason I show up.
Brendan?
Every weekend, it's the only reason I show up.
It's not a bad week. We had a good week, so I'm getting ready. You know, Torrance, my guy upstairs, Matt Gaines, they put together a phenomenal Smitty's on the Rim. First of all, I got to take care of my counterparts. Allie, we have you
what did you
dressed
dig up?
up.
What'd you dig
Happy
up?
New Year.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Brendan, you look good. You look good. You ready?
Yes, sir.
That's Turbo.
Oh, yeah. He's in Charlotte. He's in my hometown.
In your hometown? Against Rudans Karooks.
So who?
Karooks.
Okay.
Gotta get it right. Watch this.
Karuchi.
Slide your feet, young
Oh, watch
fella.
out. We just gonna call him Karuchi for this house. Like, get out of there, Karuchi.
Well, wait a second. The
Wow.
one thing is he could not stop. Get your numbers back in front of Kimba. That's okay. Good job of playing it off. That's a bucket. That's number 5, Turbo. Number 4. Talk to me about DeRozan on this one.
Wait. I don't even know what he did.
Got to give you a different
Man, he
angle.
gave like,
And
he
the
gave,
foul,
he gave like
and
5
the
different
and
moves in a Euro.
Don't do it like that.
Stop
Dribble
in
too
between the
much.
legs, the dribble, Euro step. Wait a minute. Hold
Oh,
on,
he's been
Toronto.
working with my guy. Dribble too much. Ooh. He's
Bing,
patting
bing.
it.
Oh, my goodness.
There's DeMar DeRozan at number 4.
He had a point to prove that night.
Yes, he did. Number 3, Kawhi. First, we're going to give you this play. Settle. Under the rim. You like it?
That's nice. I mean, I've seen better, but that's nice.
Better.
That's
Under
that's
the rim.
a nice reverse.
Just warm it up. This is where the next play against Gobert, the next play right now where I said Kawhi Leonard is going to another level. Watch this quick crossover.
Oh, watch out, young
Wait
fella.
a second.
Oh, that was vicious right there.
I have not seen it that quick in a long time. Bing, bing.
Oh,
Hard. 2 hard dribbles.
real quick. I remember
young
that play.
fella.
LeBron had something to say about that.
Yeah, I did too, because
Yeah,
I said, ooh, next level handles. Number 2, talk to me about this. One of the best I've seen in a long time.
Is this my boy
We got
from
a
New
lot
York?
of laughs.
This my boy from New York?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait a second, switch.
Oh, hold on. Did Plumlee push him? Well, hey, look at the end of the play, Smitty. Watch this, watch
He
this.
pushed him out of there. Get out of there.
Plumlee set him up. Hey, that is not your friend.
Not at all.
Who's that, Beasley?
That's Beasley.
Hey, Beasley. Hey, Mason Plumlee is not your friend, Beasley. Watch it. Get out of there.
Moutier.
There's nothing over there.
I gotta
There's
say,
nothing over
Way
there.
to go. And number 1, the barber
He's a bad man.
from last night.
He's a bad man.
Allie, this is against Steph. Easy Steph. What? Did Steph raise his foot up?
Oh, watch out, Steph.
At the
Ooh.
beginning, though, Steph raised that foot up and didn't know what to do. Watch this. Oh, whoa! Dead
Ooh.
foot. He got dead foot.
And he crossed him all the way into the charge circle and pulled him at the elbow.
Last, there's another play. And this is Klay Thompson. Oh, my God. He got Klay getting into his stance. And nothing you can do. When you can't get your hands up, that's when you know you're in a bad spot.
I want the other one on Clay, though. We got that one, too?
The last one?
Did we have the other one on Clay?
The last one for the game winner?
Yeah.
Now, nothing Klay can do. This is good defense.
Pull up. Hey.
Talk to him,
Man,
James.
that was a 4-point play, too. Draymond had a lot to say. Not after that play.
You know what? James,
Skirt,
what
real
I love
quick.
about James, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself just by his outfits when he's walking in, and he's balling.
Hey, man.
The barber.
Like we said, you walk in with that outfit, you better ball.
gotta
Hey, he's
play.
had some
Hey,
wild.
Daryl Morey said best offensive player of all time.
Man, get off the ball. He's had some wild outfits this year, but
You're
he's backing
witnessing
him up.
greatness, according to James Harden himself.
We are witnessing
I know
greatness.
we are.
We are.
Yes, indeed. Well, he's been about 50, 40, triple-double. He's done a lot.
A lot of people watching the wrong thing. They're watching the foul count instead of watching the point count, the point total.
Mega Millions Powerball numbers.
Greatest
Yes,
offensive
indeed.
player of all time.
He's getting up there.
I ain't gonna do that. Michael Jeffrey Jordan did walk
Now,
this
Mike
earth.
was there. Sometimes I just don't even. Mike's in his
Mike
own class.
walked
He's
this
in his own
earth.
class, I know.
You know,
Mike's in his own
listen,
class.
I respect
feels
people
like
that
a
think
sin to
that way,
speak
but Mike
against him.
walked this earth, so I don't put anybody in front of Mike.
Mike's in his own class.
Yeah.
Today, James is getting that nod.
Okay, you can say that. I'm still gonna roll with Mike.
I'm talking about this.
Oh, today's era?
Today's game. Era.
Today's era, no question. James Harden.
All right, well, we don't have a lot of early games